know. You need a water and a paper towel, or you want to see if it.
I'm just gonna see if that was just a rando,
Yeah.
or if it's really happening. Is it real? No, it doesn't seem like it's real. Sometimes you get like one. It's like your body warning you.
Mm-hmm.
Hiccups imminent. OD. Oh shit, did I not fucking change this to...
To what? Oh, public or.
I think I might not have changed it to public.
Let's see. No, I got a notification for it.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. It's just taking some time for people
Yeah.
to fucking filter their butts in. I thought I did, but...
I'll see it.
Alright. I was almost getting ready to stop this. You guys are usually in within like 10 seconds. This one was like half a minute before you guys started popping. Hello. Hello, hello. Will Paul ever show feet? I've shown feet before. Me and TJ did a Joker review, and I was wearing flip-flops in it, and the camera was kind of low, so my foot was right there, man. You can see whole foot if you want.
I mean, people were bitching about it.
Yeah, people were like, I don't want to see Paul's big old gangly foot. I was like, all right, bro.
TJ is more conservative about his feet because they're little fucking baby bottoms.
I know, dude. TJ's little fucking baby's ass feet. My feet are fucking raggedy, bro. Caveman feet. What I like to call blue collar foot.
Or more just redneck foot. We don't wear shoes a lot.
Redneck foot, you know.
Cause like I noticed when I was wearing shoes more, my calluses weren't as bad.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what a callus is. Your
Yeah.
foot going like, here's a shoe.
Yeah.
Is that why TJ always mentions wearing shoes in the house? I've never seen TJ walk around the house barefoot.
Not even sock foot.
Not even in sock feet. The dude will literally get out of bed, put socks and shoes on, and then get up. Like, that's his thing. His feet are, I think the only time I've seen TJ with no shoes on was when he swam at my mom's house.
And at the beach, I guess.
At the beach, yeah. He kicks his feet off her, but only when he got in the water, though. And then he came back out and, like, dried his feet off and put his shoes right back on. He will not walk around the sand. Interesting factoids about TJ, yeah. He's talked about it before. He just not, like, I think he's got, like, a hang-up about his feet. I think he's worried that his feet are going to get hurt, or, like, he's going to step on something sharp. Like, maybe he's got that in his past. Maybe when he was a kid, he stepped on a nail or something. Because he's, like, not just, like, it's not just a quirk. He's, like, adverse. He does not want shoes off of his feet ever unless he's in bed or in the shower. Kind of the same way, but mostly because I don't want to track dirt and crap into the bed when I lay down. Oh, you mean like on your dirty feet? Yeah, I mean, that will happen, I guess.
We don't care.
Mm-mm.
Filthy rednecks.
Yeah,
walk
we're
around
goddamn
barefoot
fucking...
all the time.
Yeah, we're full-blown fucking barefoot Okies over here. I only put shoes on if I'm leaving the fucking house, bro. I wear shoes constantly because I have a lift in one shoe. Yeah, I mean, like, that makes sense. I don't know if that's true for TJ. He's never mentioned anything of it. It bugs me the hell out when I'm trying to sleep and I feel crumbs. I mean, I'm not like bringing crumbs of shit on my feet into the bed, you know. They're like, they might be a little fucking dirty, but hope you have a great day, Blackfoot Paul. Yeah, I mean, I get that way, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even give a shit. That's what your feet are for. They're the part of your body that has to touch the dirty ass ground, okay? That's what happens to your feet.
Like, even if you're getting in bed with dirty feet, it's not like your whole body's touching where your feet are at.
Yeah. By the way, Paul, Kirby and Mario are kids' games. Zelda is not. All right, Phoebes. All right, okay, fine. Fair enough. Zelda is for grown-ups. Are you happy? I'm not getting into it again today. I'm done with the Nintendo argument, but yeah, you win.
Oh man, she probably had a whole screen lined up.
I don't know. Kirby is the eldritch devourer of worlds. Yeah, he does eat everything. He does be sucking. Kirby gives the suck. I have a touch of the tism. I can't stand my feet being dirty. Oh.
I guess maybe that's TJ. A touch.
I don't think so though. I don't think it's about dirt. Because the way he's described it, because I've seen his feet.
Yeah.
He had this whole talk with me, and he pulled his feet out, and they are pristine.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a callus, like a gangly toenail, a scar. His feet are like he just came out of his mother, and they like put preserver things around his feet, and his feet grew up with no interaction with the world at all. He doesn't have like. It's like you look at my feet, you can see some raggedy stuff, like blister, fucking scars, and fucking my toes are all messed up. One of my toenails, like my big toenail, instead of growing straight out, it grows kind of like at an angle because I popped that shit off when I was younger. I broke the toenail off at the nail bed, and it had to like grow back, and when it did, it grew back. Like, you know, like my feet are gangly. Heads up in the interview, going back next week to meet the rest of the team, and I believe that's when I get my start date. Beautiful, Pranav. Beautiful.
Well, I feel like meeting the team is almost like another interview. Especially
It kind of is, but it's not.
environment.
They don't let people get to that interview if they don't think that they're gonna fit. But like, yeah, meeting the team is the last, because they'll have a meeting after they meet with you and talk shit about you. But it's a good sign. If you made it to like the last thing, as long as everybody at the team thinks that you can do a good job and likes you, you're getting a job. That's basically where it's at. Yeah, they want to see how you interact with others and what your fucking social skills are, basically.
Yeah. Office politics are a fucking nightmare.
They are. But I just know how they work.
Yeah.
They're like that they will meet with you, and then they will ask you to leave, and they will sit there and they will shit talk you. But if the shit talk isn't bad enough, you get hired. So as long as you don't completely fumble the ball, you got your job. Oh, that's good. Yeah, like I said, they don't usually move you on to that step if they're not planning on hiring you. Mm-hmm. So.
But they're sniffing you still.
As long as you don't go in there with your dick hanging out or something, you should be fine.
It's almost like dogs, like they're sniffing you out.
They are. I mean, human beings and dogs have a lot in common. When you meet, you gotta size the other person up. We don't got the scent glands and shit. You know, but we're looking at like body language and eye contact and posture, whether your dick's in your pants or not, you know, the whole nine. That first impression. You got to look sharp, Pranambi, when you go into that fucking fight. I'm sure you know, but you got to be, put on the old Dracar Noir, smell good, line it up, line up the beard, some clear eyes in the eyes. You gotta look fresh as a daisy. Suit and tie, fresh shave. Yup, 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 yup. You know, you know. Your best power tie too. Not one of your like pastel blending ties. You gotta have a power tie. You gotta have a tie that says hello. I had a power tie. I used to have like 10 ties, believe it or not. And you gotta have at least one power tie. Black and red matte, beautiful, beautiful power colors. You know exactly what a power tie is. So you the man. You got this.
I feel like women have it easier with like the office wear because like you can just get away with a sweater for the most part.
A sweater or a nice blouse or whatever and a skirt.
Well, even like the blouse doesn't have to be nice. You can do like a plain blouse
Yeah.
and just put like a little sweater.
Well, that's what I
over
mean
it.
when I say a nice blouse. I don't mean like one that's all gilded. Just a clean, nice blouse and then a sweater over it, or just that and your skirt. But women got to do a lot more. Like women go through the whole like fucking makeup and hair is a lot different for women as well. At the very least in like the office politics sphere. Are office politics worse than the small business hierarchy? Every time I get a corporate spot, I feel blessed for not working there. Yeah, I mean, office politics it's like an adversarial thing that will happen because in a corporate environment rather than a small, like, and even in a corporate environment, but your work team is smaller, there's a whole different fucking ball of wax that happens. Like, for example, if you're going to work at Starbucks, that's a big giant corporation, but really the only people you care about are the people that work at your store, right? And so it's a smaller microcosm. It's not a super corporate environment. But then, working in my experience at the school district, that was a giant, not corporate, I guess, but governmental bureaucracy. And it has a lot of the same stuff. And there's an adversarial nature, man. You're like incentivized to talk shit. Like you're incentivized to have like feedback on how your coworkers are doing and blah 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 blah, and you're given these opportunities to get away from them out of earshot and shit talk them basically. Yeah.
Like my mom's told so many horror stories working in a little insurance office.
Read it and weep, TJ, you bitch ass motherfucker. Did you shit your britches? You sure did. TJ's mad. He said, lol, nice shirt, asshole. I wear this out in public, too. I just show people, man. I show them the pole. TJ is wrenched and shit talking in your chat, Paul. Yeah, but he can do it because he's TJ. Them britches been shat since the Pope's had a hat. Yep. So fucking true. So fucking true.
Or I guess you can ask him about what we were talking earlier.
About what?
About his feet.
He's just in the chat. He probably just popped in to say fuck you and he's gone now, knowing TJ. I doubt he's hanging. Maybe I'll ask him tonight on the show what the deal is with the feet.
Early show today, guys, by the way.
Yeah, we're starting the show at 2 PST today.
Or PDT.
Was that it?
Daylight savings.
Oh. Okay, we're Pacific. 2 Pacific, and you can figure out your time zone. How's that?
Poor Arizona having to extra compensate.
Yeah. 5 Eastern, yes. That should be 3 Central?
4.
4 Central? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Mountain
would be 3.
Yeah.
Got it. I can feel it running down my leg tonight. Oh no. I just shipped my britches. Fuck my life. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, TJ says, I want the feet question.
Oh, you want it now? We were just talking about feet, and it didn't even come up because of you. But I was saying how you've got like these perfectly manicured baby feet that have never seen the ground, basically. And how mine are the exact opposite. How I've got like these calloused up, gangly, cracked up, dirty caveman feet with, all kinds of scars and wounds from all the barefootedness I've had in my life. And we were just wondering, like, why? Like, in my mind, the speculation that I gave was that your feet, like, you maybe have a hang up. Like, maybe you stepped on a nail when you were a kid, or you stubbed your toe real bad or something. And since then, you've had like this thing where you don't, because you won't even go barefoot in your home. Which, I can understand not being like me and being barefoot out here, but like you won't even like step foot out of your bed without putting your shoes on. So we were just speculating as to what the etymology of that might be. That's all. Whether it's just a proclivity, or whether you have like some thing that happened to your foot once, or I don't know. Because I've had, my feet have been torn up, man. I was a barefoot little kid. I've described that like I would stub my toe, like running around barefoot on the ground. I'd like scrape it, and that little flap of skin at the front of your toe would just like bleed everywhere. I've done that dozens of times. Stepped on a big old gangly rusty nail once and had to go get a tetanus shot. Cut my feet on glass. Like, yeah, so the front of your toe, if you stub it when you're barefoot on like gravel or hard ground, it'll create like, it's almost like a blister happened at the front of your toe, and like a flap of skin will come off. It's fucked. But I don't fear it because I've done it a million times, but it's fucked. It's not fun. Yeah, like when you're running barefoot, sometimes your toe will scrape the ground. And you get like a flap of skin, yeah. I also kicked something one time, like accidentally. I think I was walking in the dark barefoot, and I kicked my, you know how you like bump your foot into the side of the table, but I did it so hard that it popped the nail off of my big toe. Like broke the nail at the nail bed. And it was still attached, but it was just broken. So it bled all over the place. And then when that stopped, I had to wait for like 5 or 6 days for the nail bed to release the nail. And after that, it was about 5 months before I had a toenail again.
It looks like TJ left anyways.
Yeah, he didn't want he didn't want the foot question.
He said he did, but then he left.
That's fine. I'll hit him up with it on the thing tonight. I've smashed my big toenail like that. Yeah, it's gangly, bro. That's that. It was. It's painful, but it's just like I've been through it, so it's not frightening to me. It's not like unknown. I wouldn't do it on purpose again. But if it happened to me, I'd be like, oh, not this again. Not like, oh shit, you know.
I'll tell you what, there ain't shit you can do if you break your toe.
I've broken my pinky toe. I've broken my middle toe, that long one. They don't do a fucking, it's almost the same for fingers, honestly. Unless you have like a compound fracture in a finger, if you just break a finger, typically what'll happen is like, I broke this finger when I was a little kid, falling. I fell and tried to catch myself in a weird way and broke this finger. Cracked it below the knuckle here, right? And my dad grabbed it and went boop, and it hurt. And then they put a popsicle stick on my hand and taped it to my finger, and I walked around like that for a few days. That's how you handle a broken finger. That's all they will do for you if you go to the hospital. So you may as well just do it yourself. You'd have to have a pretty gangly, mangled up finger for you to need medical attention beyond just fucking
splitting it.
Yep. But yeah, all that shit that I said about my toes, about my hands, my fingers, my arms, my elbows. I was a crazy kid, man. I was running around outside. I'd get injured. I remember one time I came home and it's like my parents were just used to it. I there was a hill on the back side of my house. There was a road that was pretty steep. It was like a country road. And that was like Bike Hill, we used to call it when I was a kid, because you could really like pedal down it. You could get a running start at it and pedal down it, and you'd be fucking probably doing like 40 miles an hour by the bottom of it, just, you know. And I hit the bottom of that hill and hit a fucking rock and fucking went over my handlebars and splayed out like this, and just like I was wearing a t-shirt, you know, so it's just like blood from the heels of my palms up my arms, my elbows. I just skinned, hit my chin on the ground and had blood. And I went home like looking like Jesus, like literally bleeding out of my hands, blood coming down my shirt. And my mom's like, "Oh my goodness, come here. Come here." And she went and got like the mercurochrome and like cleaned them all off and put mercurochrome on it, and that was it, you know.
I'll tell you what, I don't think you've ever had anything as crazy as what my mom went through, though. Where her mom just shoved her tooth back in.
Yeah, I mean, that's fucking crazy. Just crammed a tooth back in her mouth.
It stayed for like 20 years.
It's fucking weird. No, we didn't have Neosporin back in the day. We had mercurochrome. It was literally mercury and betadine. They don't really sell it anymore. It was like this brownish liquid that you would pull up out of it and dab onto a wound. And it was mercury and betadine solution. They don't sell it anymore. But that was, when I was a kid, that was it. Yeah, she would like, if it was like a fresh cut too, she would put peroxide on it. So like she would call it bubbling it. She would sometimes make me go do it. I'd come in and I'd be like, "Oh, Mom, I scraped my arm up real bad," and she'd go bubble it, and I'll grab the mercurochrome, and I'd go in and I'd put some in the cap and pour it down my arm and let it bubble out, and then she'd come in with the mercurochrome and dab it on there for me.
I guess it was banned in '98, but there's people selling it on eBay still.
Yeah.
In case you really want mercurochrome.
Yeah. I mean, it worked. It's definitely like it's an antiseptic, like a major antiseptic, but it is dangerous to have around because it's mercury. You know, you don't want like putting it on a thing and having your kid lick it or whatever. That would be fucked. But obviously, we were trained not to do that. I'm glad as a younger guy, my childhood was relatively early, mid 90s. Like, yeah, I mean, that was a good time to be a kid for sure. Wait, you bathed in mercury? No, you dabbed a solution of mercury and betadine onto your wounds in the 80s. Everybody had a little bottle of mercurochrome. That's what you put on your cuts and your bruises and your scrapes. Not your bruises, but your scrapes. Anything you broke the skin. I have not watched Mid-90s by Jonah Hill. You didn't even need to put it on tissue paper. It came with like a, when you unscrewed the top, it had a little dabber that was submerged in it, and because you only needed a drop. So you would get a drop and you would just shake it a little bit, it would drop onto the wound. You could spread it with the thing because it was antiseptic. So you spread it with the little wand and make sure it's on the wound. You put it back in there and it kills anything that you're transferring. Yeah, man, I got up to some shenanigans when I was a kid. I hurt myself multiple times. It was like a rite of passage when I was a kid. Everybody I knew had broken bones, you know, at some point. Everybody I knew had fucking fallen off their bike real bad and scraped themselves up, bonked their head, something. It was just like considered to be like, that's what happens when you're a kid. You know, you'll learn your limits by fucking transcending them and getting hurt, basically, was the thought process. And it works, you know. It also turns you into a person that, like, I'm not afraid of physical injury in the same way that other people are, I don't think. I mean, certain physical injuries get me. Like, I have an aversion to, like, lots of gushing blood and shit. I get kind of woozy with that. But, like, if I were to fall down and break my arm right now, I would be pretty calm about it because I just know what that is. It hurts, but I would know what to do, you know.
Yeah, I would just have to fucking toss you in the car.
I mean, first we would get something I could put my arm in, so we'd fashion a sling out of a t-shirt or something, and then you'd put me in the car and take me on in. That's an issue I'm having with Kale. He wants to play sports but doesn't want to get hurt. I mean, yeah, dude, I don't know what to tell you, honestly, because, like, when I think back on it, I could have gotten hurt way worse, you know? It's like, my parents it wasn't like they didn't care. It was just like I was a country kid, you know, and we were expected to be outside, and oops, you fell and got a scrape wasn't a big deal, and they never catastrophized about it. Like that time I came home after falling off my bike with blood running down my arms and my chest. My mom didn't want, oh my God, come here, baby. Oh, what happened to you? Oh no. She was like, oh goodness, what did you do? Come here, let mama look. All right, it ain't that bad. What'd you do? I told you be careful on that bike. You know what I mean? It was never like when I got injured, it wasn't like oh, come here, baby. Come here, oh God. Oh, please let him be okay. You know, like, I never got that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, the least injury sport. And the only thing I can think of is, like, tap dancing, maybe.
That's not a sport. Bowling. There you go.
You can still fucking crush
You could drop a bowling ball on your foot or pull your arm out of socket or something, I guess. But ultimately, that's a pretty safe sport. Me and my friends would rollerblade, do tricks off of rails and picnic benches. No broken bones, but shins took a beating. We just got up and kept skating, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how it was back in, you know, my childhood. Is like, if you fell and you scraped yourself and you bled a little bit, you didn't go running home. You just was like, all right, well, whatever. It'll scab up, and you kept riding, and you took care of it at home. And have you ever heard about the theory that contact sports injuries at a young age can lead to violent tendencies later in life? That's not a theory, right? That's like CTE, right? Isn't that what they call it? Yeah. Concussive trauma,
encephalopathy or whatever.
Yeah. So that's not a theory. Like, if you get your head bonked around a lot, it does fuck around with your brain quite a bit. Antonio Brown disorder, yeah. And what was that wrestler? Not Kurt Angle. You guys, somebody will know it. That wrestler that killed Benoit. Chris Benoit. Yep. Had CTE as well.
The fucked up thing is you can't really tell until after they're dead.
Yeah. You find out in the, well, you can. Yeah. Like, they can do like a full brain scan and see CTE, but if it's not caught, if you don't have that done, then you never know until autopsy. Breaking a leg seems like the worst. Have to use crutches to get everywhere. Yeah, I mean, it is a pain in the ass. Breaking an arm sucks, though. I broke my right arm, which is my dominant arm. And being for like 3.5, almost 4 months without your dominant hand and arm is pretty fucked. I hate when motherfuckers tell me I can't appreciate how good of a technical wrestler he was because he went all crazy. Whatever. Minnie broke her wrist last year. Yeah, that's a tough one. That'll put you in a half cast for a couple of months if it's a bad break, and if not, you'll just be in like a soft cast for months. That's a rough one to break. I've never broken a wrist. I broke my arm. I've broken my foot multiple ways, toes, fingers, ribs. haven't broken it, but I didn't dislocate it fully either. But I tore ligaments in my left knee. I know I'm forgetting a few. I mean, I've got a litany. I fractured my skull when I was 4, and according to my dad, it changed how I acted permanently. Yeah, I don't deny it. I mean, sometimes that might not even be a brain injury thing. That might just be a traumatic thing. Like kids, when they go through a major trauma, will often come out with a slightly different or majorly different personality. It's like they're faced with their mortality. They have to learn all this weird shit when they're little. They have to go through something they don't understand, and sometimes the coping mechanism for that is a personality change. You know, it's not even a brain damage issue. I gotta get more of these. For whatever reason, this one,
It doesn't make you cough as bad.
I can take big old rips on it, and it's so fucking buttery smooth. It was the brain damage. The trauma wasn't awful compared to how it was the brain. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I bumped my head real bad when I was a kid, too. Got a big goose egg that was like pulsating with my heartbeat. So who knows? Maybe I got a little of the CTE as well. Father broke his back at 18. The trauma having to learn to walk again changed his hair from straight to curly. It's crazy how like the body will adapt to shit like that. How different physiological changes and changes in circumstance can change like your hair, your toenails, your fucking skin, all of that shit. It's all connected. You're all one system, and I think we forget it.
Yeah, I think the scariest thing is sepsis.
Sepsis? Yeah.
Because that's where people like lose their hands and feet.
Yeah. Yeah. My worst was a bad concussion. My brother shoved me out of a bunk bed, clapped my head on our concrete floor. Yeah, man, fuck. Oof. That's a long drop to land on your head too, or to bounce your head off the ground with that force. Oof. That's a tough one, man. Let's talk about buttered sausage. Let's do it. Let's talk about buttered sausage. Where's it going? What's it doing? Who's making it? Get out of my face. Actually, I got injured more in this past year in my new job than anything as a kid. Damn. Hope you got hazard pay at that job if that's the case. My aunt got sepsis on the literal last day of her job, lost both her arms and legs. Oof. It'll be nice to have health insurance again. Sure. Here I was talking about how smooth these are, and then I just fucking bombed myself. Oh well. Ooh. Ooh, baby, go up, keep expanding. Shit, Paul's gonna feel real good. Yeah, you got a cough to get off, you know what I mean? Is that a Stizzy? No, this is a Canacleer. This is a California company. I don't think they exist outside of California, but they make really, really good vapes. Like, not just these, but like you can buy their cartridges from Canacleer as well. They're just like super, super clean wax pen things. Do you think American-owned TikTok would be worse than TikTok now? I don't think it would be much different. Like I don't agree with the TikTok ban because of the stated reasons. I agree with it because I think that like kids will probably be better off without it. But You know, whatever. Wax is bae. There's a lot of people that were mad at that. Like I talked about TikTok on the last one. There was quite a few people in the comments going like, "Fuck you, Paul." You know, it's like, all right, well, whatever. Neither of my kids are allowed to watch it. I mean, that's probably smart. Isn't this like the fourth time they tried to ban TikTok? The second. It's the second time. I don't support a ban, but I wouldn't miss it. Yeah. People hate that it's a boomer take that kids don't need to be tablet babies, should be considered neglect. I agree. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like people go like, "Oh, Paul's always going against banning things for the kids." What I'm against banning is things that are made for adults that kids get into. TikTok is made for kids. So it's like if there was a toy that had lead paint on it that would chip off and give kids fucking brain damage, I would not want to sell that. I don't think that that's something you should sell. You see? There's a difference between going like, "Oh, we can't have cigarette flavors because kids. We can't have Camel Crushes because kids. We can't have flavored vapes because kids." Those things were not made for kids. They were made for adults, and kids were just getting their hands on them because parents don't watch their fucking kids. I'm against that. If you've got something that's made for children, which TikTok is, there's no arguing that, then, and it's damaging to those children, I'm all for banning it, of course. TikTok is made for and marketed to children, and so I'm fine with banning it if it's hurting kids, and it is. So hello. TikTok is for teenagers instead of toddlers. Yeah, but the same thing applies. Like, okay, let's say that like Heelys were popular with teenagers again, and there was a fucking manufacturing malfunction that caused kids to fall down and break their tailbones or knees. They would ban them. What about Facebook? What about Facebook? Are we talking about Facebook? You think we should ban Instagram? No. But kids don't use Instagram. Young adults use Instagram. Instagram is not like marketed to children. There might be some kids on the app, but it's not like something that was designed for children. TikTok is. TikTok was designed from the ground up to be like a teens platform. That's how it's marketed. That's how it's presented. All their front-facing content creators that are popular off of TikTok are kids, people doing stuff for kids or kids themselves. It's a platform for children, and it's demonstrably destructive to the minds of children. So get rid of that fucking shit. Bullshit. Pornhub got banned. Lol, what? Is Spoopy D a tall queen? No. She's not short. She's about average height, I would guess. I think she's 5'6", something like that. Ooh, baby, I see these motherfuckers glancing when my whip stop and my wheels keep spinning. Pornhub is dead ass banned in Texas. Fucking Texas, bro. The eyes of Texas are upon you till Gabriel blows his horn. banned in Virginia too. Hilarious. Legislators think Pornhub is the only porn site. Yeah, I know, it's fucking crazy. This is what happens when you have tech illiterate boomers running things. They think the internet is a series of tubes, and if they just cap off the tube that's called Pornhub, then people can't get porn anymore. Then kids won't be looking up porn. You can literally just go to Google and type in porn, and you're gonna get like 15 different sites that have nothing but porn on them. It's retarded. It's a totally pointless, meaningless, virtue signaling fucking thing. Porn created a lot of needs. I don't know if it created needs, but porn did create a lot of weird expectations in people's head about sex. How sex is versus how sex is portrayed is what I mean, Pranav. So, like, there's a lot of people that go in and all they know about sex because their parents didn't take care of them. Their parents didn't give them the talk, you know, they didn't get any kind of like general sex ed in school. And so they think that they have to like turn out when they're stroking on a girl so the camera can, you know what I mean? Like, when they're hitting it from the back, they like cheat out so that, you know, the camera can see it. They think that's how you're supposed to hit it, you know, like this weirdness, right? They think it's supposed to last like 90 minutes. It's supposed to be like a marathon of like hard, fast penetration for 90 minutes. You know? That sort of thing. I know as like a man, a young boy that watched porn, I definitely like thought my dick was way like what's the word? Way like insufficient because every dick in porn is like a fucking Coke can and it's that long, right? Small, yeah. Yeah, that's the word. Inadequate. Pile drivers on first dates, yeah. Facials on the first date. Bruh. Chick's like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Ugh, get off me. What? That's just how you finish, right? That's actually pretty funny. That'd be a funny sketch. It would, but you know, it would never be able to be on any show because it would be X-rated or R-rated or whatever. That'd be a good sketch. Like the dude that only knows porn, like cheating out, like, and the girl's like, What are you doing?" Could be a porno, actually. Yeah, yeah. It could be like a comedic, satirical porn. I saw Bang Bus for the first time when I was 11 or 12 and really thought they were just picking up girls on the street, banging them, and then leaving them on the side of the road. Or dudes, yeah, because I remember Bang Bus used to be both ways, right? So sometimes they would have like a porn star chick and they would just pull some rando off the street and then just kick him out of the van. Fucking porn. Ugh. You like me? sensitive, but it feels better than it did the last few days, so that's good. Fucking allergies are bad, but that's to be expected with this weather.
Yeah,
It's
apparently
like
it's
legit
high
spring.
pollen count today too.
Yep, legit spring. Spring before spring.
Oh my goodness, so squinty.
Hazy D. So cute. So cute. Squinty D. Bum 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 bum. Squinty D. Bum 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 bum.
Probably won't need a sweater much longer.
That sun is kinda bright, Squinty D, Squinty D. That sun is kinda bright, Squinty D, Squinty D, Squinty D. Bum 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 bum. Hazy D. Dun 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 dun. One winged dinosaur.
She missed a spot on your ear. You got a little ear. Good.
One winged dinosaur. How's your day, Paul? Sleep good? I did. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I got a good, like, probably 3 sleep cycles last night, which is really good. That's about all you need. 3 a night. I slept the amount that is, well, I got the amount of good sleep that is recommended for a person my age. 6+ hours is what I'm supposed to get. That's what I got. I feel good. My machine says I didn't have any unaddressed apneas or leaks on my mask, which is good. That means I slept well. Yeah, I got 6 hours. Your CPAP machine is plugged into the wall, or do you charge it? It's plugged into the wall. If the power goes out, you're fucked in the middle of the night. Your CPAP is just dead, unfortunately. They should have, I mean, I could buy like a battery bank for it if I was real worried. And I might, honestly. I might get a half-ass battery bank for the fucking thing just to make sure that, because power does go out here in the summer.
Yeah, like before it gets hella hot. Be sure.
Start getting the fucking overage blackouts and shit. You need less sleep the older you get. Yes, that is true. You actually need more sleep in your 20s than at any point in your life. There are some sleep specialists that say you need up to 10 hours of sleep a night in your teens and 20s.
Yeah, we fucked teenagers in high school.
Oh my God, fully.
They're getting the least optimal fucking schedule ever.
Mm-hmm. Apparently they did a study where women need more sleep on average. Yeah, I remember that. Yes, that is true. How did you get used to wearing it while you sleep? Seems like it would be uncomfortable and cumbersome. So I'm a side sleeper and sometimes a stomach sleeper. I cannot sleep on my stomach. So that's the hardest part with it is I have this...
Back.
Huh?
You said you can't sleep on your stomach. You mean your back?
Well, I can't sleep on my back very well either, but I'm a side and stomach sleeper. Now I cannot sleep on my stomach anymore because of the mask. There's just no functional way to get your head right. But my side sleeping in the mask that I have is really super easy. And that's usually how I fall asleep and oftentimes how I will sleep all night. Sometimes that will turn into a stomach sleep if I'm just left to my own devices. But I catch myself when I'm doing it now and just roll over to the other side and continue side sleeping. And that's how it works for me. Isn't cleaning and replacing the parts common, costly, and tedious? Tedious, maybe, but you don't have to do it every day. Like, you have to clean it once a week really well, like a deep clean. Costly, I'm going through my insurance, and they're picking up the cost of that, but I'm sure it would be costly if you were just buying it out of your pocket. Because, yeah, the little nose thing has to be replaced, what is it, once every month?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, you got to get a new nose thing because the silicone that it's made out of wears out and it starts leaking. So you get a new one of those. I think every like 6 months, you get a whole new mask. because, it's made of that same, it's thicker and more durable, but it's made of that same silicone. So they give you a whole new mask.
New hoses.
New hose, like the hose that comes with the machine, goes into the top of the mask. That gets replaced every 6 months or something. Hey, Paul, just watched your last stream after not tuning in for about a year. Just so nice to see you relaxed and doing better. Happy for you. Stream is much more enjoyable to watch. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, man. Yeah, I know. It's like a little. I know ideologies can be a bit, but it's one of the reasons why I just would stop doing them. I still would have like the impetus to do it, but I didn't feel like I had the gumption, and I felt like all I was going to do is sit here and catastrophize and spiral negatively and lash out at people and stuff, and I just rather avoid that if that's all I've got. And I understand, like, towards when I stopped doing them, it was getting pretty bad. It was getting kind of tough to watch. I get real fixated on one thing too, like I'll be Vosh every stream, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is I'm harping on that day or that week. You were like a little bit of a dictator on your channel. Oh, I still am. This is still a dictatorship. Make no bones about it. We've not transitioned to a representative democracy here. This is still a kingdom. But the king is, Saruman has been cast out of Theoden, and the king has returned.
Also, this is a smaller channel, so there's not as many issues.
Yeah. And honestly, one of the reasons for that is not necessarily that it's smaller, because I'm getting about the same amount of people that I would expect on a ideology. 150 people. I mean, I got 124 right now. Mm-hmm. That's about what I would get on ideology.
But it doesn't have as much exposure as your old channel did.
No, that's true. But I think a lot of the reason that it's that way is just years of me enforcing things that way. The people that were coming here just to disrupt shit, by and large, just stopped coming because I have a zero tolerance policy for that type of shit. And the people that come here that thought that they were gonna, maybe they weren't as antagonistic, but still thought that they were gonna like run the show or shit on me in the chat constantly with me just reading it, they kind of learned as well. And what's left are people that just like having conversation, and that's easy to riff off of. That's the whole point. Do you have to break into Asgard to find Amelia? No, thankfully no. I just had to log into my Instagram account to find Amelia. Didn't have to break into Asgard. Is that some Asgardian thing that I don't know? Is there an Amelia in Asgard that I don't know about? I was one a week ago. I mean, yeah, Order 66 is still a thing, and I'm still a salty guy, but yeah, I'm feeling better, and I think that reflects in the content in a positive way for a lot of people.
You could really tell with that Kyle episode because you had gotten no sleep. You were so much crumpier.
Yeah, I do get grouchy. I had a bad night's sleep the night before the Kyle episode. I was still better off than I would have been in general, I think, like 6 months ago, but yeah, I was a little grouchy. Wait, I was right. You're talking about so there are people that made that sort of criticism of me in the comments and on the subreddit, and I probably treated some of them very unfairly for it because it was hitting close to home, because it's like I was aware, right? I was aware that like, holy fuck, I don't feel like I can do anything other than get angry and complain and obsess and lash out, right? And then I would have I would see a subreddit post or something where somebody would be like, dude, I can't watch ideology anymore because Paul's a piece of shit who just lashes out and he's just angry and mean all the time. And I would read that and I would be like, fuck, they're right. Fuck you. And I would lash out at them, like as a result of that. You never want to hear that about yourself. It's tough to hear that about yourself when you're really trying. Yeah, I was one of them. Yeah, I'm sure several of you were. It's cool. And, you know, on the back end of it, I understand. I am what I am, and being a fan of mine means you got to put up with me at my worst and my best, or just leave, you know, to a certain extent. But yeah, I get it. You to a certain extent. I think some of you were kind of mean about it in a way. Like it lacked any kind of compassion or empathy a lot of times. It was just like Paul used to be so good, now he's just shit. It wasn't like, man, you know, maybe Paul's struggling or whatever. There wasn't a lot of empathy in it. And so I'm not trying to say that I was totally wrong to lash out at some of it, but in terms of like the critique and the criticism, I can't really argue with that. You know, I wouldn't want to tune into something that just made me feel like shit. It was just solid negativity the whole time. I wouldn't tune into that, you know, so why would you? People will always have their back up at bold personalities. I mean, that's true, but never said stuff like that. It was just very noticeable, and I knew something was wrong. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Sometimes it's necessary to get that out, though. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm becoming enlightened that the same thing may be wrong with me. I have epilepsy and I have sleep apnea often, and it makes it worse. Yeah, I mean, dude, you're not probably at your best if you're not getting sleep. That's just, you know, something I've learned in the last 2 or 3 months of my life. Like, you just can't really function without it. Not anywhere near what you're capable of. I mean, I respect the authenticity. It is what it is, man. This place has always been that, you know. If I'm wrong about something and I dig my heels in, I'll come back and say it. I'll think better of it later, and I'll let you guys know why I was wrong and how I was wrong and all that shit. Because, you know, that's something you don't get from a lot of these people. Do you think there's a connection between holding on to anger and things like Oh yeah, I mean that's the study's been done. You're stressed out, wound up all the time. Yeah, cancer, heart disease, all that shit. You're at a greater risk for it. I ain't on my screen too much. I don't get enough sleep. Recently got prescribed melatonin for lifelong sleep issues. It's a night and day difference. That's nice. Yeah, I've taken melatonin before, and it's helped me in the past. I just don't think that it can overcome apnea. But if you're just a person that is like, because I suffer not just from apnea, right? But I've got like genuine insomnia as well. There are just sometimes where it does not matter how fucking tired I am. I'm not gonna sleep. My brain is not gonna let me do it. When you're stressed and angry, it's almost like you can physically see it on someone. I know it's kind of a meme, but you tend to look Palpatine-like when you're angry and stressed for a long time. Yeah, the dark circles under my eyes get purple and more pronounced. My hair, I mean, obviously, like we were talking about earlier, your body's a whole ass system, right? So when you throw the fucking, it's like when you have apnea. It was explained. I saw somebody explain it like this. When you have apnea, it's like the plug into the wall. Your energy is like in there, but it's only half-ass, and it's sparking and shit, you know. And it's like intermittently giving bursts of energy because the whole thing is short-circuited, you know. And so like my hair was drier and more frizzy. My nails were worse. My hands, my eczema was worse. Like I don't have horrible eczema, but like it was just everything. Everything was worse. You know, my color. That's another thing that I notice personally is like the color of me. LMFAOA. What that is? What is that? That's one I don't know. Was that just I type too fast because I'm laughing? What are you laughing at? What? Just curious. What did I say that was so funny? What am I, a clown to you? I fucking amuse you? Is that what? Oh, fat Squidward. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay, I'll give you that. I didn't see that comment. All right, all right. All right, all right, all right. That's a good one. I'm not even a big, I don't know the memes, but I know who Squidward is. My mind went there too. Goodfellas, lol. Yeah. What's so funny? What do you mean it's funny? What do you mean the way I talk? No, Tommy, I'm just saying the way you tell the story, you're a funny guy. I mean, you're the one that said it. I didn't fucking say it. I'm not the one that said funny. You said funny. How am I funny? What's so funny about me, huh? Funny how? Funny like a clown? Funny like a clown? Like I fucking amuse you like a fucking clown? Funny how? Tommy, come the fuck on. You see him? I almost had him, Frankie. I worry about you, Hendry. You may fold under questioning. You really are a funny guy. That's it. That's it, motherfucker. I love that scene. You know that scene was largely improvised by Joe Pesci? Isn't that great? Just goes to show you how much he understood that character.
He has the most distinctive voice too. Like you could never miss Joe Pesci.
No. I mean, the scene was written, but the scene as it appears in the movie was one of a series of improvisations that he did about it. Pretty neat, huh? So I'm away on that job at Sea Caucus. I'm running from the cops. I'm in the fucking weeds, right? This cop comes along. He sees me. He says, "Oh, Big, what are you doing here in the weeds?" I'm like, "Waiting to fuck your mother." Bing, pow. It's like, "Got anything else to say, tough guy?" I was like, "Yeah, where's your mother? I'd like to talk to her." Bing, pow, this motherfucker. I love that movie. That's a great ass movie, dude. Paul, isn't it fascinating how many cultural barriers Toriyama's work broke? Let's stop, bro. I don't know much about Toriyama. I'm like a casual DBZ fan from 20 years ago. I have not paid attention to DBZ for over 20 years, for 2 decades, okay? I'm not a big Toriyama guy. I couldn't really speak to anything about him. Like, I'm into the cartoon, the old cartoon, and I think it's fun, but that's where my interest stops. Tommy, this fucking kid here, Tommy. Shoe shine Tommy, they used to call him. Make your shoes look like fucking mirrors. No more shine box. What was that? What'd you say? I said, I don't know. You were away for a long time. Maybe you haven't heard. There's no more shine box now. Why do you smoke and vape? Because I'm smoking weed and having a cigarette. Like, is that a tough thing to wrap your head around? What do I need to explain about that to you?
I guess because it looks like a jewel.
Oh, I love that part, yeah. You insulted him a little bit. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, it's not a jewel. This is a weed vape. So I I take a little hit on this, and then I take a little puff on that. This is a Zoomer spliff, we call this. You got your tobacco and you got your weed vape. You hit them. Don't put that end in, though, Zoomers. This is the end. I thought the vape is nicotine. No, this is a weed vape. I would not be like double fisting. That would be I mean, this is a little bit much, but like, yeah, if this was a nicotine vape and I was double fisting that, I'd call me out too. Really got to spell it out for them Zoomers. Yeah, you really do. What happens if you smoke from the white part, the lit part? You burn your tongue. You swallow an ember of fucking shit down your throat, and you cough for about 6 hours.
Do you not know what a filter is, too? Like,
I mean, I know you know what an ember is. You just suck on that in your mouth and see what happens, bro. My generation will inherit the earth. They say the meek shall inherit. You know the book doesn't lie. It's not a question of merit. It's not a matter of pride. They say the meek doesn't get it. You know the book doesn't lie. They say the meek are gonna get what's coming to them by and by.
the wrongest song there ever was.
Unfortunately, right? I mean, it is kind of wistful. The meek are gonna get what's coming to them by and by. Eventually, it's gonna happen, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. It's definitely delivered that way in the show. It's not like a big hopeful thing. It's I quit smoking cigs and weed over a year ago. Picked up Nick vapes, convinced it's worse. I never fell asleep smoking a cig. What? Wait a minute. Yeah, I did. What, son? How do you fall asleep vaping though? What did you hook it up to your face or something like a mask?
My grandpa would do that with pipes. He'd fall asleep with a pipe in his mouth.
Oh, Jesus. I smoked 2 joints before I smoked 2 joints. And then I smoked 2 more. I smoked 2 joints in the morning. Smoked 2 joints at night. I smoked 2 joints in the afternoon. Lord, make me feel alright. Connect the CPAP to the vape. Yeah, so every inhale has a little vape in it. Any military activity in your area again? I haven't seen any today, but you know, wait a minute.
I heard a hella loud one yesterday.
Oh yeah, it's every day now. We were talking about that a couple shows ago because like there were a couple of shows ago where it was actually kind of neat. We heard the sound and then they flew behind my head here. 3 F-15s in triangle formation or whatever the fuck they call it. Annie's 12 years old, and 2 more she'll be a whore. Nobody ever told her it's the wrong way. Don't be afraid with the quickness you get laid. For your family get paid, it's the wrong way. I give her all that I had to give. I'm gonna make it hard to live. Big soggy tears running down her chin, and it ruins up her makeup and never one kiss. A cigarette rests between her lips, but I'm staring at her tits, it's the wrong way. Strong if I can, but I am only a man, so I take her to the can, it's the wrong way. The only family that she's ever had is her 7 horny brothers and a drunk ass dad. They needed money, so they put her on the street. Everything was going fine until the day she met me. Happy, are you sad? Wanna shoot your dad? I'll do anything I can the wrong way. We talked all night, tried to make it right. Believe me, shit was tight, it was the wrong way. Don't run away if you wanna stay, 'cause I ain't gonna make ya. Oh no, it's up to you. What you really wanna do is spend some time in America. I don't stop. That's such a good song. Sublime was dope, man. That band was just chill as fuck. So iconic of my late teens, too. Like, that's my 17, 18, 19-year old soundtrack right there. That fucking album. I think my cat meowed. Cool. Brad's son is singing for Sublime now. Cool. I didn't know they were still touring and shit. I thought they were pretty done. They were one of those bands. They had mass cross appeal. Mass, because it was because of like the infusion of that like Jamaican kind of reggaeton sound into their shit. That shit is getting real popular now, and it has mass appeal too. Like reggaeton is finally starting to kind of like break into the mainstream a little bit, not just as like a referential thing or one song that uses it. But back then it was more like ska. Like ska is typified by upstrokes. So instead of stroking your guitar like this, you're stroking it like this. It creates a different, like, zippier kind of chord sound and progression. Yeah, dude, I live in Miami, so reggaeton is everywhere. Yeah, I mean, it's dope too. I mean, it's just like a really visceral music. Bomba Club. Do you know of Sublime before Bradley died? Yes. I was a huge fan of Sublime in the 90s when they were popular. I think they came out in 95. I would have been 15, 16. Yeah, dude. I was a huge fan. Punk came out, then ska punk, then post punk. Well, there was pop punk. I guess post punk and pop punk maybe are the same thing. Ska was not before reggae. Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. Not here in America in terms of like popularity and shit. Reggae blew up here before ska was even a thing. But yeah, ska might precede reggae. Like, I don't know that. That might be true. Post punk is what we would call goth music. Yeah, then you're missing out on pop punk. All the small things, true care, true things. She left me roses by the stairs. Like, total like American kids saying, she left me roses by the stairs. Surprises let me know she cares. Okay? That's what happened to punk. That's where punk finally pulled the dirt in on its grave. Na 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 na. I mean, whatever. It was a catchy genre, but it definitely like oofed. Kind of made punk a little bit pussy. Some 41, yeah. I can't remember what their song was, but I remember the band name. Na 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 na. late night, come home. Work sucks, I know. She left me roses. It's like, ugh. I really liked one of the bands that was like accused of greasing the path between punk and pop punk. Fuck, what were they called? Rancid. Rancid had that breakout hit Ruby Soho that was only very nominally punk. Still dying over that impression. I mean, it is. It's just like a very pussy song genre. It's catchy. You know, like fucking Billy, not Billie Eilish, not Billy Corgan, Billy, what's his name? The fucking lead singer of thinking of every other Billy. Billy West, no. Billy Idol, no. No, not Billy Idol. That's another Billy. Billy Joe, yes. Thank you. Billy Joe Armstrong, yes, from fucking now what's his band name? I'm gonna forget that too. Green Day. This dude, I mean, if you listen to him talk, he talks like me. But when he sings like he's fucking Sid Vicious or some shit. Billy Crystal, yeah, yeah. I like Green Day, but they greased the path between punk and pop punk, and thus you have to give them their share of blame for ruining punk as a genre. But yeah, Dookie is a great album. I don't know about After Dookie, but Dookie is a goated album. I walk a lonely road, town the only one I've ever known. I walk alone, I am all alone, I walk alone. My shadow stands beside me in the darkness. It's like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Welcome to paradise. Oi, 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 oi. Trying to sound like Oasis, yeah. Step inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find a better place to play? I'm gonna start a revolution from my bed. Cause you said the brains I had went to my head. Dude, that song is just goated, right? I'm a creep. It's one of those coverable songs. Some songs you don't ever want to hear any other than the original, but Creep is one of those songs that like everybody has their own spin on it. And a lot of the covers are really, really fucking good. Karma Police, yeah, less so for me. I don't really like listening to covers of Karma Police, but Creep is like such a fucking, yeah. Holy Diver, you never want to hear a cover of. In the Garden of Eden slash Inagata Davida, you never want to hear a cover of that song. It just doesn't work. Inagata Davida, honey. Love the Bends. The Bends and In Rainbows are my two favorite Radiohead albums. Absolutely. But the Bends is goated above everything else. It's their greatest album, in my opinion. And I'm not a big, huge fan of OK Computer. I know that's blasphemy. It's good, but it ain't great. You slap In Rainbows, OK Computer, and the Bends down in front of me, and I'm probably going to pick the Bends every time. T-Pain's got a great voice for covering War Pigs. The second half of OK, I totally fucking agree. The second half of OK Computer doesn't even feel like the same album. The first half is great. Kid A, I feel kind of the same way about it. I feel like that album has some, it's like banger, banger, drag, drag, banger, drag. It's like, I can just pop in Rainbows and listen to the whole fucking shit. It's one of the music questions I always ask people, curious on your opinion, Prince or Michael Jackson. Why do I gotta pick between the two? They're both fucking awesome. I love them both. I love their music. I grew up on their music. So it's like you're presenting me a false dichotomy. I guess if you put a gun to my head, Michael. Like if it was like you must choose one, I would choose Michael. But like in terms of just like picking between them, I don't really. I mean, I think they have some obvious similarities in terms of their like androgynous presentation and kind of high pitched voices, but that's kind of where it ends for me. Do you prefer one over the other? Also, they had a feud. Yes, they did. I do. If, like I said, a gun to my head, I'd pick Michael. But that's just because I grew up in the fucking 80s when Michael was the final uber celebrity. There will never be a celebrity like Michael again. He was the only artist I've ever even heard of where he had triple cross generational appeal. Me and my sisters would play Michael Jackson all day long. My parents would play the same album all day long. My grandmother loved Michael Jackson. That's three generations of people that all love the same thing. There's no star like that now, nor will there probably ever be in the future. Absolutely just a different level. No, she's not. We had this argument before. Taylor Swift is not just as big, and here is why. Michael Jackson played concerts in like Ghana and fucking sold them out. People would travel from all over the world to Ghana. Michael Jackson was instantly recognizable no matter where he was on the planet. He was followed. Like his travel was tracked, not just when he was on tour, but like people knew where he was going to be before he got there. I'm sorry, Taylor Swift is probably one of the biggest celebrities right now, but she's in the shadow of Michael Jackson. You just don't understand. You can look into it if you want. Yeah. I mean, Bruno Mars, if you talk to him, was probably heavily influenced by Michael Jackson, I would imagine. Like he would probably just straight out tell you, like, Michael Jackson's one of my biggest influences. He'd be a liar if he told you not, because Bruno Mars is a Michael Jackson guy. MJ's legacy is unbeatable. It's just like I said, dude, Taylor Swift is not being listened to by three simultaneous or four simultaneous generations of people. Okay? The generation that came up after me loved Michael. My parents loved Michael. My generation loved Michael. My grandparents' generation loved Michael. Taylor Swift doesn't even hold a candle to that. Taylor Swift will fade one day. Taylor Swift is popular with the demographic that starts at like tweens and ends in your early 20s. And she's huge, and that's the main demographic of music. She's probably killing it more than anybody right now. But Michael Jackson was relevant every day of his life till the day he died. He was never forgotten. He was Taylor Swift will be something that you nostalgia post about in about 10 years, okay? I'm just letting you know. Hey, anybody remember Taylor Swift? Haters gonna hate. This was the best time of my life, dude. What happened to Taylor Swift? Yeah, she just fell off, man. No straight men like Taylor Swift. That's the difference. I mean, that's just another difference. Like Taylor Swift has a broadly female audience. There are dudes that like her, and there are probably dudes that aren't gay that like her. I've never met one, but yeah. But Michael Jackson just, it was across the board. They don't know about a lot of shit with Michael. I've never pressed play on an MJ song or Swift song, but I know many MJ songs and no Swift songs. There you go. Good point. Taylor Swift is not going to change the paradigm of pop music. She's not going to be forever influential. She's not going to have people generations after her death aping her style. There's no comparison, man. I get it. I know you like there's some sort of point of pride where you want to say like, no, we got celebrities. It's like, yeah, you do, but not like we did. Like the culture of celebrity has stratified. There are more of them now, which means it's like that line in Pound Cake by Drake. It's on Jay-Z's verse. And he says, my friend said, Hove, there ain't many of us. I said, less is more, neighbor. There's plenty of us. Right? Cash moves everything around me. Green. Get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. That is a bar. I love that bar. It's delivered so cold, too. Yellow diamonds on my Jesus. He did not say neighbor. He said the N word, but neighbor is the word I use when I want to get because it means the same thing. It's like saying dude. Hey, guy. Hey, neighbor. God said, Hove, there ain't many of us. I said, less is more, neighbor. There's plenty of us. Cash moves everything around me. Green, get the money, dollar, get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Cake, birthday cake. Dude, that beat, dude, just do that right now. Like, if you want to hear a beat that is just like hypnotic, that's just a sample that's used in the song. I think it's Drake's dad. Well, that bit is not Drake's dad, but I think it's him saying it. Favorite System of a Down song? It's hard to pick one that isn't a prison song, right? I mean, that song just like kicks every shade of ass that there is. It's like, it's got to be their best. Oh, the female voice, yeah, the oh, ooh, ooh, cash moves everything. Mm, mm, ooh, ooh. I had Bradford before you have braces. Maybach keys, but I'm not a racist. Yellow diamonds in my Jesus. Yes, we the worldwide best. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess. Paul, do you think they'll screw up doing Messiah? No, I think Denis will do a good movie. I got high hopes for it. I do think it's going to be different than the book. I think there's going to be a lot of people going like, what? But Drake puts out too much music. I agree. I'm not a big Drake fan, but his collabs are pretty good. I feel the same way about like Rick Ross. I'm not a big Rick Ross fan, but I love his collabs, especially with Jay-Z. Devil is a Lie is such a great song. I hardly ever will go to like, let me hear a Rick Ross song, but his collabs are fucking dope. Devil is a Lie is a great song. Bum, bum, bum. Woo! I love that song. That song is so hype. Front car seat smelling like 2 keys. The devil is a lie. Bitch, I'm the truth. The devil is a lie. Bitch, I'm the proof. The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. Bitch, I'm alive. The devil is a lie. For me, it's Pac over Biggie. Oh, yeah. I don't put one over the other. He did a sample of somebody doing Cream from Wu-Tang Clan. I don't believe it's anything from Wu-Tang that he sampled. People talk about Tupac like he's a religious figure. I mean, to people when he was at his peak, he kind of was, man. He was a young black dude talking about not just gangster shit, but like the actual problems of society and the plight of black people in a way that nobody else was doing. I mean, he had Keep Your Head Up, which was a song out of hip hop, which is still to this day roundly misogynistic. Keep Your Head Up was a song to young women about not letting it get you down and you know, keeping yourself fucking grounded in the world. Like nothing like that was coming out of hip hop. The guy respected his mother. Wrote a song called Dear Mama that was super popular. And it was all about how, you know, his mama did her best and he forgives her for her, you know, transgressions and failures and stuff. Even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. Like that whole terminology of like black people calling each other kings and queens, he set that shit off. I don't know anything enough about either guy to have an opinion, but Pac is a more compelling figure to me. Yeah, sure. As a dude that grew up mostly on the West Coast, that makes sense.
Yeah, a little less than an hour, by the way.
Okay. Yep, I'm gonna end this. I gotta go get ready for the show. Got an early show today, so make sure you join us. I'll see you guys over there. Have fun. Bye.